Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is September 3rd, 2024, and today is Tuesday morning. So welcome back, everybody. So looking at the highlights of the day, JP Morgan, the largest financial institution in the world, makes new record highs. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So at 4 o'clock South African time, out of the United States, we have an ISM Manufacturing PMI number coming out. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the US dollar does strengthen versus the major pairs, and as we shift over to the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ, by and large, really unchanged. Now, looking at commodities, gold gets a bounce, and now as we look at stocks, specifically it's the bank stocks that are strengthening, while the tech stocks are really wavering and not showing any direction. And lastly, look at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin's still sitting on support. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD. Now there was a slight correction with the US dollar strengthening versus the Euro US dollar, and it still has some room on the downside to continue to strengthen. Not big, maybe like 60 pips, okay, where it would be about 50% from our nice trendwards upwards. But remember, we're still in a range. I mean, for a larger part of it, if we look at a weekly chart, you can see a little bit clearer. We're still in a range. So until we actually break out of it. Now, this is really an important level. As you can see, we are sitting on a 200-day moving average. I'm looking at the GBP USD, did retrace as well, but not as much, okay? But very close to the euro, and it looks very similar, but it's stronger than the euro vis-a-vis the dollar. Now, if we look at the Australian dollar, also we saw here a little bit of a slight increase for the dollar, and that's it. I mean, that's really all that she had to wrote. The Canadian dollar a little bit stronger versus the US dollar, is that kind of, you know, on the bottom of its range, but everything is trading in tandem. Okay, there's no anomalies right here, and this is really in anticipation of what's going to happen with the FOMC in just a couple of weeks, because everybody is fixated with it, because America is leading the charge, right? So looking at commodities, gold on its supportish level and bouncing here to 25.01, not a big bounce, but nevertheless bouncing at the bottom of its range. If we look at crude oil, also we got a little bit of a bounce here after that sell-off last week. So no big deal. And we look at the US markets, they closed the year close to its all-time highs for the Dow Jones, okay, and it's really unchanged. And if you look at the NASDAQ on a daily chart, it got a little bit of a bounce, but not enough. For all intents and purposes, this is still on a downwards momentum and potentially cancel off here. Now, looking at the individual stocks, JP Morgan, $224 a share. Now, this is the largest financial institution in the world, and it is making very important new all-time record highs as the markets are strengthening when it comes to the bank stocks. Okay, if we look at Bank of America, also made its way back to $40 a share. Now, looking at some of the big tech stocks, the Microsoft, okay, which has been really very weak, okay, not doing much, okay, and Facebook not doing much, also close to its highs, a little bit stronger. If we look at Apple, it's close to its highs, but didn't completely make a rebound. Now, the next couple of months are going to be super important for the financial markets. September, October, and then we have elections. September, we have the FOMC. October, we have lots of corporate earnings. And November, of course, we have our elections, whether it's going to be Harris or Trump. And that's going to be a big, big shift in the United States. So I do anticipate a lot of volatility in the markets in the next 2 months, because that's just the way the cookie rolls. Now, lastly, let's take a look at NVIDIA after that major sell-off. Not that bad, okay? It's in between its high and low from our summer sale, okay? If you guys remember, we had a massive sale, okay? Let's see if we could bring it in. No, we won't be able. No, we won't be able to show it. But remember, we went from $132 down to about $90 a share, and then we made it back, all the way back to about $128, and now we're faltered back to $117, and this is after they guided lower. So this is exactly what I was looking for, to see how much of a sell-off we'd get. We didn't get that much of a sell-off, but do expect some volatility, like I said, and you do want to keep all your eyes open across the markets just to be on top of your game. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.